leadership and life with your host, Roberta Pickett.
Welcome, everyone, to Insights on Leadership and Life. I'm your host, Roberta Pickett, and I'm a leadership and life coach. Every month we have a different topic on the show, and I thought it would be fun for this evening to talk about the next generation, or the younger generation as I call them, because there's so much talk about them being a different breed. And I think that there are probably truths in that, and there's probably truths that there's a lot of similarities between the younger and the older generations as well. But what is that truth? So we want to hear tonight from some of them to find out what their perspective is on their generation and the businesses that they're running. So we're talking about young professionals, young entrepreneurs, young business owners in our county and our communities. So with us tonight, I have three guests. I have Erin Allard, who is from Rockford Investment, excuse me. So welcome, Erin.
Thank you, Roberta.
And I also have Tyler and Jasmine Heydrich from Boston Alley Fitness in Sutter Creek. So welcome to both of you.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. So it's interesting, you are definitely in the younger than 35 category, right?
Correct.
And both of you are co-owners of a business, and you've had it for 4 years, is my understanding. Is that correct?
We're getting ready to start our 5th year, this school year.
That's fantastic. So you started it in your 20s. You purchased it in your 20s?
Yeah, correct.
Great. That's great. And my understanding is you are in your 20s still, right?
Yeah, I'm 26.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, let's start, if we can, by finding out a little bit about your background, just where you grew up, who you are, so we know what we're talking about. And then as we proceed, we'll get more into Generation Y or the millennials. It's called both, so see which one you claim, which one you prefer. Okay, Erin, why don't you start? Tell us about yourself.
Sure. So I'm Erin Allard. I grew up in the East Bay of the San Francisco Bay Area, first in Fremont, and then when I was 12 we moved to Antioch, which is about an hour east of San Francisco. Had a very suburban childhood, very happy childhood. My mom's a big do-it-yourselfer around the house and very entrepreneurial, so those were the things that I really grew up around. So when it was time to go to college, I decided to study economics, and I went to Mills College, which is a women's college in Oakland.
Right.
So at Mills, I studied economics and did some independently structured research projects on real estate. Loved that so much that I did my master's in real estate, and then shortly thereafter started Rockford Investments, which is the vehicle I use for my real estate investment.
You didn't waste any time. My goodness.
No.
So how long have you had Rockford Investments then?
About almost a year now.
Great.
And I made a few investments personally, or one investment personally actually, before starting that. So my dream had always been to renovate an old house. So I'm the kind of person where when you drive me down the freeway, the worse the thing on the side of the road looks, the more I want to stare at it. I just love imagining what a house could be like.
Did you grow up watching this old house?
Actually, yes. When I was maybe 8, I would come home from school and watch Norm Abram making all this cabinetry stuff on the This Old House show.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's fun. Well, I definitely want to hear more of your story, and I know you have something very unique. So you live in Stockton now, but you are working on a project here in Amador County.
Right.
Actually, in Jackson. So we'll talk more about that in a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Great. Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have a younger sister who's almost 24. She's actually a professional softball player.
Wow.
And my younger brother, his 16th birthday is today.
And I hear you sort of forego his, or forwent his birthday.
He was very
party.
understanding.
Ah, good.
Yeah.
Well, he can watch us on YouTube later.
Yep, yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. Well, thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
I'm glad you could be here.
Thanks, it's really
especially
exciting.
on last minute notice. It was
No
great.
worries.
So you two, now I'm going to watch the elbow action between you two as you share. But this, instead of talking about your business, I'd actually like to know about each of you individually. So, girls first.
Of course,
Jasmine, you want to go first?
Sure. I grew up in Sonora, which is not far from here, so I'm really comfortable living in Amador County. I went to Sonora High, and after graduation, I moved to Chico to get my bachelor's in exercise physiology, and spent some time in the Bay Area as well. And Tyler and I lived, which I guess. Did we talk about that?
Sure.
This is my spouse, Tyler. So
yeah, I guess we didn't
actually
specifically say that.
And we lived in the Bay Area and decided that we wanted to see the world, so we spent some time traveling and came back and to settle down and have a little one and.
So you have a little one?
The business. We have 2 little ones, actually.
Wow, how old?
We have a 5-year-old, she just turned 5, and a 2.5-year-old.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you knew early on that you wanted to get into the fitness world. I mean, if you majored...
Sports has always been a part of my life, and I'm pretty sure that's the same for Tyler.
Yeah.
So.
What did you play in high school?
In high school, I played basketball and volleyball, and just had a fantastic time doing that, so... It seemed natural to go into the fitness industry.
Fun stuff. Wanted to share it with other people.
Yes.
Yeah. And how about you, Tyler?
Yeah, so I grew up in Jackson and was real active in sports and so we moved up to Chico to go to school. I got a degree in kinesiology, the study of movement. So kind of like what a PE teacher goes into school for.
Right.
That's where we met. Up there, so out of Chico, we, like she said, moved down to the Bay Area. We worked in the fitness field for a little while, and then we're like, whoa, we're getting pretty deep into this whole rat race thing, and so we decided, we kind of dreamed up a big year-long round-the-world trip, and that, we taught English out there in Thailand, and in some ways that big trip kind of shaped, why we wanted to get into business for ourselves. It provided us a level of freedom that we were kind of addicted to after traveling the world. So
that can happen.
Yeah, we came back and we're like, we started dreaming again. How do we get into business for ourselves? So
I love that. Obviously you guys started dreaming early, and I'm a big believer that having the dream is you're halfway there.
Yeah.
Being able to picture it. You mentioned looking at a house and picturing what you wanted to create with it. But I think you guys talking about what you wanted to create and what were the possibilities, that really starts bringing the possibilities towards you.
Yeah, that's why that's what it's all about, the creativity, I think, for us, is why we want to be in business for ourselves. So
love it.
Yeah.
So
and
then,
freedom, too,
Yeah, freedom and possibilities.
Yeah.
Good reasons to be, and creativity.
Yeah.
So good. So we are, you guys are young. You took over Boston Alley Fitness, and that is a fitness center for younger people, for kids?
We call it a kids gym, yeah. And we basically focus on movement and fun and just keeping the kids going. Teaches them all kinds of skills that are not just related to fitness, team play and all that good stuff.
So is it all class related, or do you have drop-ins, or?
Go ahead.
Yeah, for the littler kids, we have what we call open gym, and basically anybody can drop in, play, bounce off the walls, and that's kind of a range of little kids, like 1 to 5. Other than that, kind of our bread and butter is the after-school programs that we do, where we go pick up the kids from the elementary school right when school gets out, and then bring them over to the gym for a fitness class. And
That's great. What about summer? Because obviously kids
summers
are
are actually our slower times, because families are off traveling and out of the county. So we do a summer camp that's going on right now. We call it Monkey Camp, and it's just a half-day camp. It's just we provide an environment for kids to get their exercise, kind of just be a kid in there. And we do that until the school starts back up in August, and then it's kind of full speed ahead again.
Yeah, well, we definitely hope that I can talk more about more of the specifics around it. you guys know I have my grandson here with me tonight, Aiden. Hey, Aiden out there.
Hi, Aiden.
And
There he is.
he's giving us the peace sign. Oh no, that was 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
I thought it was the peace sign. Here, I'm out of it. But I was thinking it would be fun to do just a drop in too.
Certainly.
He's the perfect age too. That age group loves it in there the most, probably.
That's great. So, as we talk, do you have a lot of other of your friends who are also in business, or do you find you guys are anomalies?
Anomaly, for sure, especially at my age.
Yeah.
I think I've just been really fortunate to have grown up in a household where, if you had an idea, you could explore it. And my parents have always been really supportive. And I think I'm definitely an anomaly. Maybe we'll talk a bit more about this later, but I like a lot of things that a lot of millennials don't typically like or do, so I'm just kind of an odd bird, so to speak.
Well, maybe or maybe not.
Maybe, but I did really connect with what you said about the creative process of coming up with the business that you want to do, and then the creative process of actually executing that. I totally know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like addictive.
Yeah, it makes it really
certain
hard
point.
to go back to the real world, or the real world of...
The other world.
The other world.
Because this is real too, and you're creating that reality. We are going to take a little break because we obviously have commercial sponsors and we want to give a chance for them. So we're going to be back in just a minute with more on insights on leadership in life.